guys, Reversal here. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Go, and this is the Q&A of Generation 2. All that you guys wanted to know about Generation 2, that's what we're going to be covering here today. I took to Twitter and I asked you guys, hey, you got any question related to Gen 2 on Pokemon Go? 126 responses, so that means a lot of questions. I expect there to be a lot of repeat questions, so if that's the case, then I'm gonna skip to the next one. But yeah, let's actually jump in. I'm gonna take like 20 minutes or so to respond to as many questions as I can in rapid fire, starting now. So the first question from the Game Hunter is asking IVs versus CP plus Moveset, which one do you prefer? Moveset is king. Biggest example, Gyarados with the Twister or the Hydro Pump. Which one do you prefer? The one with Hydro Pump, of course, because it's simply better. So Moveset is most important, and then you can look at the IVs of Pokemon. Joshua is asking, are Zwinubs exclusive to temperate countries, just like Corsola is to tropical countries? I haven't seen one yet. I don't think that's the case. I do think they're more rare in tropical countries, but not exclusive to temperate countries. It's not an exclusive Pokemon, otherwise it would have been known already. Moving on to the next one, Jan is asking, what do you think of the fast responses Niantic is making at the moment? Like the gym battle, the nest migration, and so on and so forth. It is amazing. Like, Niantic, hats off to them. Like, we gotta give them some praise for adapting to the situation real quickly right now. I think what they're doing is amazing, and it's nice for a change. After a lot of downtime from Niantic's part, right now I think Niantic deserves some praise for the amazing stuff they're doing, and I think they're finally caught on, so that is really great. Brandon is asking, or saying, my Porygon 2 ended up with Hidden Power, which is a Dragon move, and Hyper Beam. Can you explain Hidden Power and the random types? It depends on the IV of a Pokemon. If, for instance, attack is 15, stamina is 10, and defense is also 15, it might end up being Psychic. If it's like one higher, it might end up being Ghost type. And so you manage to get yourself a Dragon type. So, at least in the original Pokemon series, it's dependent on IV. I think it's the same in Pokemon Go. You guys check your Porygon 2, tell me in the comment what the Hidden Power move is. Wild Mushroom Man, do you feel like Gen 2 is underwhelming, not enough useful Pokemon for how little were introduced? No, because it's just more Pokemon. It's what it is. It's what we know what's going to be happening. So I don't think it's underwhelming because we already sort of knew what we were expecting, right? So the one thing that might be underwhelming is that you might have the idea that there's not enough features inside of the game. And with that, I can totally understand. And I would just say wait for a bit, and then hopefully in the future we're going to be getting more features. Another question from Joshua. I'm going to move on to someone else. The Dr. K9 is asking, when do you think Gen 3 is going to be coming out? I hope August, but no expectations. I think it's going to take less time than Gen 1 to Gen 2, but once again, we don't know. Clark Kent is asking, what are your thoughts on adding more seasonal Pokemon? Granted, Corsola will... Aren't you talking about region exclusives? Granted, Corsola will migrate to the south of winter when it's over. No, I don't think... Oh, that's what you mean by seasonal. No, I don't think that's the case. I think it's set in stone, tropical countries. That's where Corsola is going to be spawning. I don't think that's going to be changing. And I personally like it because it gives me a reason to travel to those countries. But I can imagine you guys being upset, especially about Heracross, because that honestly is kind of like is a bad move. Like, Heracross is kind of too strong to be considered a regional, in my personal opinion. Jose is asking, do you think Niantic has something secretly planned for the 21st anniversary event besides Pikachu hats? I would say no, because we just had the Valentine's Day event less than 2 weeks ago, so I would not expect anything. It is okay to expect something for St. Patrick's Day, because that's 1 month later, and that's on the 17th of March, but I don't think so. Zrawars is asking, out of the Gen 2 Pokemon, non-pseudo legendary, not related to Gen 2, which Pokemon is the best offensively and best defensively? I'll link a list in the description down below out of the top Pokemon out there. That's easier. Like, just go ahead and check that out. Sink. So apparently you're not guaranteed an evolution item on your 7th day spin. Got 20 items, but not evolution item, mad. I can imagine. I just talked about this in the last video, but it has changed. They're no longer guaranteeing a evolution item, but instead the spawn of the drop rate of evolution item has increased significantly, so you might want to spin a lot of Pokestops. Reports came in of some people getting up to 5 evolution items within 30 minutes. So yeah, just go out there. Favorite Gen 2 Pokemon? Sudowoodo, because he just looks silly, and I have a nice memory with that Pokemon. Actually a bad one, because I got stuck in the game, but it was memorable, so that's why Sudowoodo. Kat is asking, what Generation 2 Pokemon would you like as a pet in real life? A Shuckle would be amazing, or you could go for an Espeon or Umbreon. Umbreon would be really cool as well. So either one of those two Pokemon. Yeah, those two. Josh is asking, are you able to find nests for Larvitar and Mareep? I asked this because they removed Dratini nest from Gen 1. So far I haven't seen any reports of a real nest. I have seen people be like, hey, there's a lot of these spawning around the area, but I don't think there are any more Larvitar or Mareep nests either, because it's like just like a Dratini. They're the Dratini of Gen 1 essentially. Miami Pokehead is asking, am I better off not powering up my Umbreon or Espeon for prestige gyms or powering them up fully? That's like personal preference, man. What would you want to use them for gym prestiging? Then go for that. If you want to power them up fully, then it's gonna be more like a gym defender, or hey, I'm gonna knock out some Pokemon out of a gym. So it's up to what your team is right now. More depressing nerf, Bubble or Lapras? Lapras, in my opinion. Do you think you'll be able to catch Ditto without trying to having to catch it through common Pokemon, for example, Pidgey? No. It's always going to be Pidgey, or Rattata, or Hoothoot, or Sentret, or Yamna. By the way, I don't understand Yamna. I would understand Spinarak, but I don't understand Yamna, because for me, Yamna, I haven't seen one yet. So if that's gonna be a Ditto on the first try, I'm gonna be quite pissed off, but yeah, it's what it is. So yeah, no. Akash is asking, hey, is unknown question mark and exclamation point unavailable right now? Yes, they're unavailable right now. They got released with Generation 3. So if you guys, I think that's when they're actually going to be released. Question mark unknown and exclamation point unknown. The Valor Guy. Do you think Blissey with Zen Headbutt and Psychic is a good counter for people using Machamps? Blissey is a good counter for every Pokemon in the game right now, unfortunately. Oshin Woods is asking, okay, I have a question. What's your favorite Pokemon? You have, it's this one, Gengar. Gengar, without a doubt. Just flashed this tweet for a second. I already liked it, so there you go. Brigida is asking, I have walked 2 Eevees so far to 10 kilometers. One successful Espeon, but Umbreon was instead of Vaporeon. Screen was night mode. Any ideas? I would assume you swapped your buddy at some point, or Eevee wasn't your buddy at the time of evolving the Eevee into the Vaporeon, which was supposed to be an Umbreon. I think it needs to remain your buddy. But yeah, having it as a buddy is a prerequisite in order to evolve it into an Umbreon. So yeah. Second one didn't evolve as my buddies. Oh, you actually figured it out yourself. Okay, I see. I haven't seen these questions before, so yeah, there you go. Tyranitar's max CP, and then the response over here, 3686. I think that's inaccurate, because at level 38, you're gonna only get 1 power up, and then it disappears. So I'm assuming it's still 36 plus, 3600 plus, but not 3686. So yeah. Do you think Tyranitar will be better than Dragonite? Yeah, I think it will. What's your Gen 2 Pokemon? When you think Gen 3 will take less time than... Okay, I think yes, it's gonna take Niantic less time to release Gen 3 than it did releasing Gen 2. William, where would the best place in the world be? Kinshisho in Japan has 8 lure spots on top of each other. Hands down the best place to play Pokemon Go. Favorite moment of Gen 2? Whenever it got released, it was insane. The hype was so real. I'm not gonna forget about that. It's just, that was a crazy moment, and I absolutely loved that, and I will forever remember that. Let me take some water because I'm talking a lot. So yeah, release of Gen 2, my favorite moment of Gen 2. Dale, what do you think of the future of Pokemon Go? Light and bright, with bunch of futures being added to the game, and me making bunch of content for you guys on Pokemon Go. Its curve is unknown hatchable. No, it is not. Favorite Gen 2 legendary? Celebi? Yeah, Celebi. Top 5 favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. Sorry, I just like... Okay, I'll name it. Sudowoodo, Sneasel, Celebi, Ampharos, and Typhlosion. Do we know any regional exclusives for Gen 2? Heracross and Corsola. I covered it in my last video, so make sure you check that out. Do you think legendary words are coming to Pokemon Go? Yeah, for sure. Don't know when, but they're going to be there. They're going to be there. Reverse, you have to address Johto starters in 2km X. Is there any proof they're hatchable? Nobody's seen to... I've seen them. I've seen a friend hatching a Chikorita from a Gen 2 km X. So yeah, they're hatchable for sure. Where can I find what moves Pokemon can learn? So I will link that in the description down below if I can remember that. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, just look it up on Google. PokemonGoHub.net is actually, just go to Pokemon Go Hub. Because it's an amazing source right now. It's completely up to date. When you two think Gen 3 will drop, already responded to that. Have you caught any unknown as of yet? No, I have not. And how does it show on the map? As the letter. So if it's unknown P... Wait, that is a D. That is a reverse D. I'll do D. Unknown D, it will show just like that. I've picked up 8 Squirtles from my last 12 2km X. Did they change the rate or is it random? It is random, but I heard it is dependent on the Pokestop you're at. So if you're at a certain Pokestop a lot and you grab the egg from that particular Pokestop, then chances are you're going to be saying the same pool of Pokemon. But yeah, 8 Squirtles in the last 12 2km X is actually kinda, yeah, random. It's just, I guess, lucky or not, depending on what you're looking for. Do you think the Gen 2 release had an impact on the amount of players played Pokemon Go? Yeah, for sure, why not? Over here, Wesley's asking, what happens if you use Ditto against the Ditto? Then you're gonna have a Ditto versus Ditto match. Last bullet. Can you catch the Pokemon that require evolution items in the wild? No, you cannot. We've been looking around and certain tracker sites have been looking at it, and no, you cannot find any Pokemon that require evolution items in the wild. And I think that's cool. I honestly think that's cool. I was too late. Oof, that is honestly too long, man. Maybe some other Q&A. I just received a King's Rock from a 7-day streak. Politoed or Slowking? I would say go for the Pokemon you like most based off looks, because they're not really that great, both of them. So yeah, just go based off the Pokemon you like the most with looks. I would say Politoed myself though, but yeah. Diego saying, what's the issue with unknown? How rare are they, and what's the percentage of them actually catching one in the wild? They're very rare. They're very, very, very rare. And I don't know the percentage. I think it's like basic. I only caught one Chansey yet. How do you get enough for Blissey? Well, you walk it as your buddy. Or you got lucky with hatchings, or you catch some of them in the wild. But yeah, just make sure you keep it your buddy and make sure you walk along with it, because it's kind of a task to make it into a Blissey. Would you recommend keeping one of each gender for all, or some more important than others? Help, running out of space. No, because you're running out of space. So don't. Just keep the most important ones. Manav is asking, if you want to take down a level 10 gyms full of Dragonites and Vaporeons, what 6 Gen 2 would you use and win? That is... I don't know exactly which Pokemon are really great right now, so yeah. I'm gonna... How many times have you spent on Pokemon Go up to this point? A couple of thousand hours? Not sure, man. Honestly don't know. I am level 40, so maybe that will give you an indication, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. Favorite Gen 2 Pokemon? Guaranteed? No, it is not guaranteed. Our Gen 2 1 rares appear more often since the Gen 2 release. I think it's like balanced between the two, so I don't know. Like, I haven't really seen a whole lot of... I have seen a Fortress, which is a Gen 2 rare. So yeah, that's the only rare that I've personally seen myself. So I don't know. I haven't been playing too much either. So yeah. What's your favorite Gen 2 Pokemon? Any tips on how to find unknown? Just open up your tracker, the nearby tracker as much as you can. Eventually it will pop up. Top 3 Pokemon from both gens. Gen 2 Pokemon should I prefer more? The one you like the most, I guess. When we unlock Pineapple Berries, on level 16 only get Raz and Nana Berries from Pokestops. So Nana Berries is apparently under level 16. I think Pineapple Berries isn't like much longer, maybe level 18, 17. I think under 20 for sure, but I'm not sure. Have you called Unknown? No. When do you think Smeargle and Delibird will be released alongside with Generation 1 and 2 legendaries, and how? So I think Smeargle will be like an event. It was said that Delibird is tied to another event, so that might be a thing. And Gen 1 and 2 legendaries will be announced by Niantic for sure. So yeah, there you have that. What Pokemon are rare and region exclusive? I'm just gonna say the region exclusives are Heracross and Corsola right now. Rare? A lot of them. A lot of them are rare. Quintal, what were your thoughts, first thoughts when Gen 2 released? So I was watching the live stream of Mystic 7 and the chat went nuts. The chat went absolutely nuts and I was like, wait, this is real. I opened up my game, I saw the silhouettes of certain Pokemon out there. I shut down the stream and I grabbed my camera, and you guys saw the first clip. That was literally when I pressed record. I said Gen 2 is releasing and I dropped everything. So yeah, it was insane. A lot of adrenaline and I was so psyched. I was so psyched to go out and play Pokemon Go, even though it was already 12 o'clock at midnight. Which Gen 2 Pokemon is a sleeper, underrated, unexpected as a gym attacker and or defender? So I would say Ariados, Heracross, Ursaring, those are kind of underrated Pokemon. I don't know of any others. I don't have enough experience with Gen 2 yet to answer this question properly. Your top 3 Pokemon from Gen 2 looks wise. Sudowoodo, Sneasel, Celebi. That's my top 3. Will you come catch Pokemons in the US? Oh, will you come? Yes, I will. In I think in June-ish. June, July, maybe April. I don't know, like May, somewhere around that time. Which Pokemon to evolve with item, Scyther or Onyx? So basically comes down to, would you prefer a gym attacker, which is Scizor, or a gym defender, which is Steelix? I'm gonna leave that up to you yourself, but that is what you're looking for there. What are IVs and why should I care for them? So IVs, I would recommend looking up the article. I'll leave in the description down below, leaving to Game Press. IVs, I feel like it's important, man. If you're playing Pokemon Go more than just a couple of hours, at least read up on what IVs are. And you should care about them, because it's potentially the difference between a Dragonite of 3500 CP and a Dragonite of 3000 CP. Just saying. What is the most common Pokemon of Generation 2? Sentret, I feel. But some of you guys might think differently of that, so yeah. Do you think Blissey will receive a nerf? Yes, I think. I think Blissey is gonna get nerfed. I certainly hope so. But then again, Blissey sort of got nerfed with the quick attacks being more apparent. But yeah, Blissey too overpowered right now. Is it better to evolve high CP Chansey or high IV Chansey? Depends on... It really depends. Like, it's kind of tough to say for Chansey because like Blissey, if you can get yourself a bunch of Chanseys, then the one with high IV for sure. But you might want to go with a high CP Chansey. IVs don't really matter much on Chansey or Blissey, to be completely honest. Like, of course, if you have a perfect IV Blissey, it's gonna be so overpowered. But Blissey on itself is already such a tank, so maybe just a high CP Chansey. I would personally make an exception for Chansey. What biome should we be looking for in the Larvitar family? I don't know, mountains, hills? Forest? Not sure. Do you think Gen 1 Legendary should have been released before Gen 2? Yeah, I think they should have been. But at the same time, it doesn't matter that much. I feel like I'm already happy we got something at least. So yeah, I don't want to take everything for granted. Since there is more frequent response for Gen 2, do you think Niantic has a plan to keep us interested? Yes, for sure. They got some plans. I can assure you that. Bradley's asking, is there a chance to get an evolution item with no Pokestop streak? So yes, what is the chance to get one? So right now it is increased. So before it used to be once every 100, 200 Pokestops, but now I don't know, man. I honestly have no idea, but it's definitely increased. So I don't know the new rates. Should I wait to transfer Pokemon for an event with double candy? Yeah, until you run out of space, I guess. Best buddy to walk with, the one you like the most. Hey, Reverso, I got a Ditto from a Sandrat. Have you or anyone seen this? And what Gen 2 Pokemon turn into Ditto? Sandrat, Hoothoot, and Yamna. Yamna I don't understand, but because I feel that's kind of a more rare Pokemon, but yeah, Yamna is turning into Ditto as well. Hey Reverso, got Ditto from Sandrat. Oh, I already responded. Hey, I did not get any Gen 2 evolution item on the 7-day streak. Talked about that. Are you jealous? No. I'll get it eventually, so no. What's it like being a PokeTube and how much work do you put into YouTube a day? Okay, so I think that's the last question we're gonna continue with. So, a PokeTuber, it depends on the day. How much time? It really depends. Like sometimes I have days where I'm like, I really don't feel like doing anything, so that's where I do a little bit less work, but it's always, every single day, I put some work in, whether it is like informing you guys about stuff that's happening on Pokemon Go, like reports that are coming in. That is already work if you look at it from a business standing point. Then working on YouTube, making sure that I got a video ready for the day or something like that. How many hours? Sometimes it's 12 hours. On average right now it is pretty much like 8 to 12 hours easily. And then sometimes it's like 2 hours. It's always at least 2 hours. 2 hours is bare minimum. Like 3 hours is bare minimum for sure. But then you got like, I'm always on my phone. So I'm always never really able to let go of YouTube. If that makes any sense, because it's my work and it's just everything that I do right now, career wise. So yeah, pretty much always every single day, but if you're taking a look at me just really productively working, average 8 hours for sure. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah. Alright, that's gonna be doing it for this Pokemon Go Q&A. If you guys got any more questions, make sure you let me know. If you like Q&As, make sure you let me know as well. Then we can maybe do some other Q&As. But until then, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I want to thank everybody for submitting their questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get to yours, but maybe there will be a chance for that into the future. But yeah, this has been Reverse for Pokemon Go. I'm gonna be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.